Good evening, everybody. My name is Aditya Sharma. I am part of the programs committee over here at AMA. Today we have a very interesting conversation about next generation family business entrepreneurs, wherein there is an existing family business, the next generation comes into this business and they take it to the next level. So we have today with us Mr. Dishit Nathwani. He is a true fit entrepreneur. By that he means that he is passionate about both profession as well as fitness. He has been a tennis player, a very successful one, and post that he has gotten into his family business. He is a hardcore believer in the business, that the business of business is people, and with his energy and tech-driven approach, his company, which is 𝗂𝗶𝒊𝒂𝒎𝒊𝒏, has unlocked various growth platforms and turned into a global brand. He has also diversified into cold-pressed oils and organic food products, and he is on a mission to uplift the lifestyle of people by providing clean and healthy products. He also does a lot of community service, wherein he is involved with groups of local women in different places, where he is trying to do things in order to uplift their life. I would like to welcome him for today's evening. Next, we also have with us Ms. Akanksha Gandhi. She is a very young, very vibrant entrepreneur. She is director of 𝑑 Group. She is the president of branding and marketing at 𝑑 Enterprise. She is a graduate from Imperial College London. She has a postgraduate degree from London Business School. And with her experiences basically she is a bio technologist, I would say, and she has worked in research at Nestle and other such large organizations before joining in the family business. And she is looking after all the marketing, branding initiatives at Vadilal today for the domestic market. She is also looking at their expansion in terms of the Vadilal parlors. What is the name? Yeah.
We have a Now Forever.
Yeah, so Now Forever is the new initiative, wherein they are creating great experiential place for people to come, have ice creams and enjoy their time. And I would like to welcome Akanksha also today for this occasion. And lastly, we have with us Sanjay ji. He is going to be the moderator for this event. He has a very long experience in marketing, branding, and anything related to marketing. He is considered a guru. My sister has worked for him. I think Akanksha has also worked for him at some point of time. And he is someone who is a very great person. He does a lot of things, even otherwise. He runs a quiz competition online, and it's always a pleasure to listen to him. And thank you so much for moderating the session today.
My pleasure.
And I would also like to, felicitate Sanjay ji.
I am at home here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So now I would just hand it over to Sanjay ji, and we will start our conversation for today's evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome all of you to this evening, and I always happen to say, Aditya, thank you for the introduction. But I always say that it enhances the expectation of the audience. When you say so elaborately about us, then the expectation from the audience becomes very high. But we'll try to, adhere to that, what you have said. Okay, thank you. And I will start with a very interesting quote, what usually Gujaratis are for. It says, "Jyan jyan vase Gujarati, tyan tyan sadakal Gujarat," which in English means wherever the world a Gujarati lives, there exists Gujarat forever. Gujaratis have never left their remarkable impression all over the world with their business skills and trading abilities. Gujarati entrepreneurship has had a profound impact on the global economy. The Gujarati community has a long history of entrepreneurship. In India today, I think out of 10 richest or 10 best successful entrepreneurs, there will be 8 out of them who are Gujaratis. So at this forum today, we have this great opportunity to decode few of the secrets from the entrepreneurs themselves, from the Gen X entrepreneurs who have been living with their great responsibilities with legacy brands all the time. Okay, so they may be young, but you can't ignore them, right? So it's said that it is not about how many years of experience you have, it's about the quality of your years of experience. That matters the most. So I feel lucky to be part of this forum and with the people, with the entrepreneurs whom I have met when they were in the college days. So I feel very proud of it that all of them have grown vertically into the business and done a very good job. So let's start the valuable interaction. So what is the format is that with the feedback and with the demand of the audience and also Aditya, we have created some questions which we will pose it to you. It's a very informal one, and at the end there will be a question answer session from the audience, and I would request the audience not to ask Gujarati type of questions ki kitna turnover hai, kitna profit hai, kitna market hai, aap raw material kahan se late ho, please don't ask such questions. Okay, so that is a different forum for that. So let's start. Okay, so I'll start with the first question to both of you. This question, few of them can be for both of you and few of them will be individual, but you can always add to it. So let me know about your professional journey till now, a snippet of your professional journey, starting with the ladies first. Yeah.
Do I need this or am I audible?
You need to record it actually.
All right. I'm not very used to using a microphone. Usually in the meeting room, your voice is loud enough. But yeah, so I just turned 26 a few days back. So quite young to be talking about a professional journey, but whatever bit I have, I'll share. For me, like dining table conversations are usually revolving around कि भाई dad घर पे आते हैं, आज ऑफिस में क्या हुआ है, वो जानने का है. So learning started at a very young age for me and my sister, both of us. And I think that was the starting of my journey, I would say. Not college, not when I joined 𝒂𝒐, but that first conversation on the dining table was the start of my journey. And after that, in school, my dad, he was like, I had inclination towards economics. I wanted to study economics. My dad was like, accounting and all. I also know, you will know later on. For now, get some idea on science. Like science ke liye padh lo. You'll be able to understand ice cream technology later, chemistry later, if you want to diverse in chemicals, etc. So I took up biochemistry. I joined Imperial College London and did 3 years. I graduated in 2018. Meanwhile, I got short experiences at 𝒂𝒙, Cadila. I was there at 𝗔𝒸𝒻, which is also, it's a Swiss flavoring company. And all of these experiences, ironically, they were all R&D experiences. I was working as a scientist, pipetting every day. And then I came back, and 1 year I worked at 𝒂𝒂𝒏. I was learning for a few months, and then I was given the whole opportunity to take care of Gujarat में जो company owned parlors है हमारे, scoop shops. So Gujarat was given to me to just look at it, see how it goes. And I struggled. I struggled because I had absolutely no idea about marketing, no finance, no accounting, no operations. कुछ नहीं आता था. I was just given pushed into the world. Now figure it out. And I was like, maybe I need some more knowledge there. So I went back. I did my master's at London Business School, where I focused on finance and accounting. And came back, and now I look at all the branding for 𝒂𝒂𝒏 across the country, all the parlors, the franchisee owned, the company owned, and that's where I am today. And there's been ups and downs, sir, and but it's been beautiful just to be here, to be given this opportunity in the first place. That's it.
Our pleasure. Yeah. Dishit, all yours.
Wow, I guess I'm totally opposite to her. I've barely studied anything. But yeah, I'll pick it up from where she said that pretty much similar where, I think typical Gujarati business families are. Since childhood, I've been hearing when my father came back, ke bhai aaj inno dhando aavo to na maja hai. Being an oil company, it's always the commodity market, so plus minus and all that chalta rehta hai pure time. So dad moods plus minus rehta hai, to wahi dekha hai. I was a tennis player back in my school days. Always my dad said, "Kya kar lega tennis खेल के? Eventually you will have to, do science. Business में आना होगा. There's so much to do. छोड़ दो." But I kept playing. One day at 18, I just decided that now it's the time. Playing for India or the family business. So I had to choose one, and I chose the business. And that moment onwards, overnight I stopped playing tennis, joined the family business. 2011, 𝒂𝒐 College of Commerce, and 3 years of parallel working experience at my depot, meeting customers day in, day out. Almost met 100-200 client customers walk into our depot. So pretty good, interesting understanding of how oil would work, what people would think before buying oil and all that. So that was 3 good years where, I just did not have to do anything else. Just go to my depot at 1, come back at 5. Just good 4 hours of learning. So that somehow made the foundation for me. And since 2014, I, after finishing my BCom, couldn't study as much as you have done. So I just entered the business completely. And then, typically there, and then launched a few products and all that. Maybe short.
No, you can continue. Don't worry.
Okay, I can. So again, I'll just repeat. In 2014, as I entered, we launched a few more edible oils. Like Gulab was always known for its groundnut oil. Gulab Singh Tel na naam thi bada ganu wakhnai je. In the process of 13, 14 and 15, we launched sunflower oil, corn oil, looking at the diversification other companies did, and also we felt that we also needed to do. So we did that, and in 2017, my sister also joined in the meantime. So we both started a new foods division under Gulab Foods, which we launched flavored peanuts, masala, singdana and all those things. Right now it's named as Rewind Snacks. In 2019, I launched the cold press brand, the premium edible oil brand under Gulab, named Gulab Goodness. We have 5 cold press oils and olive oil to launch, and many more raw products like raw honey and all those things. In 2021 and 22, we launched True Story, my other new brand for the organic range. We launched pulses, rice, cereals and all of those things, just to cater the goodness basket and the sales team to facilitate them further in the market. And also with the good response that we had online, so just to increase the basket of product, we launched that brand. And eventually we launched shopgulab.com and a women community, maybe in the COVID time, as I was too free, and then I enjoyed, and that is one of the favorite passions to pursue today. So that's a little
great,
bit.
Great, very inspiring. In fact, I was going through your LinkedIn profile, and there I found a very nice quote which said, "I am more of a founder and less of a successor." So how does it fit in today's conversation here? So that's what I wanted to know from you. Why you say that you are a less of a founder and less, more of a founder and less of a successor?
So basically, what I always saw was, if you are in Gujarat, right? If you go out and tell somebody that business owner chu, dhando je hamaro, so that was nothing new. That's fine. I mean, every other guy, or there were many businesses around. I mean, since 2000, Gujarat has always been a business-driven state. So that was nothing very fascinating for me. But when I joined the business, I could see immense potential to grow slowly, but in a very nice manner, because the exposure that Gulab or any Gujarati business today has, you could start many small verticals that the parent company would not even, have a hiccup about. So, I felt doing small little things, finding new ways all the time in smallest of the idea or smallest of the task given in a current company also was always something that I enjoyed, doing something out of the box, because I never believed in conventional or the old ways of working, because today, when you are working today, there are all the new problems. The new Gen X is here. Ajna problem che, so you have to deal in today's time. So I feel you have to found something new day in, day out. So it's more like you have to be a founder. Yeah.
There is a nice quote which says, "You don't learn to walk by following rules. You learn by doing and falling over." So connected to this, I have my next question to Akansha. You may be having a typical challenge in your organization when you have people who are much older than you, might have seen you even they may be before your birth. So how do you handle, especially people of not your age and in your organization, maybe they are since long and they are very rigid in their decisions. So how do you tackle that? Because that I have seen in many other organizations, that is the biggest problem. So how do you face that challenge? And I think that may be with Dishit also, yeah.
To what extent can we open these? But anyway, I was just speaking to Aditya earlier, and I told him that I think that was definitely my biggest challenge when I came in. That's what I said, एक लड़की है और 21 साल की है, तो क्या पता है उसको आके क्या कर रही है. That was the biggest question. But how I see it is, like, you can see it as a glass half full or half glass half full or half empty. And so how I see it is definitely my biggest challenge and also my biggest opportunity, because the first question that needed answering, or the first thing that needed to be solved, was if I could overcome that and make sure that my colleagues and my teammates believe in me, then I think my work is half done. Because at one, like, all of these, like, all my colleagues have been working for Vadilal for such a long time, which means that they do share aspirations for Vadilal. The only hurdle that needs to be overcome is is believing in a new generation now. So if that is done, then half your job is already done. So that's how I looked at it. And I think one thing that I shared with him also earlier was my father made sure that he was like, he's here, I think. Is he here? Oh, hi. Yeah, he was like, you are not reporting to me, although we are both working for Vadilal, but he put me under someone else's supervision, Mr. 𝑵𝒆𝒙-𝑏𝒆𝒔𝒊𝒂𝒎𝒊𝒏. So I looked up to him. I learned from him for a long time. I observed him for a long time, and he eased me into leadership roles very slowly. So I didn't come and just take a leadership role. I made sure that I was well versed with my colleagues, my teammates, and when Neeraj sir believed in me, he started giving me the opportunity to lead task by task every day, and that's how I got into this position. So yeah.
Great. So Dishit, in the same situation, what was the specific efforts you made while getting accepted in the organization?
Oh yeah, same challenges. But yeah, so I had enough time. My entire process, I started the business at 18, right, day one of college. So I had a lot of time, and just to be a bit specific, I had like almost 10 to 12 guys who were in Gulab since day one, since 92. Since my dad founded the depot in Ahmedabad, those 10, 12 guys were there with him. So they were the first 10 guys who actually taught me everything about business. Because dad was so busy all the time. I never had that chance to go and ask him something. If I went to him, he was like, pachi kari so, tu bija saathe baat kari le. So these 10, 12 guys were always the go-to people for me. So they were, even I keep on writing a lot about them on my social media, that they taught me about all the dimensions of the company. Dad was always biggest of my gurus, but I had to see him and learn. And if I had doubts, I had to go to these guys. So they were like my first gurus, where, whatever I am today, I am surely because of those guys. And then as the brand grew, as I also grew, I saw the other way around. Surely they had the limitations, but I see even I would have limitations. So I would always need those guys, their dedication, their efforts of those 20, 25 years that they have given to my father, also to the company. So I saw the other side. If a specific skill is missing, I added those skills from different people, and I kept them as they are. And we tried. My biggest challenge is trying to gel both the side of people, the older guys and the newer guys. And we do a lot of grooming sessions together, where I'm also part of it. We go somewhere. Somewhere it will be a old school type of a session, and there will be a new type of a session. So we do a lot of those sessions just to, to have a good mix between both the teams. But yeah, those guys are very important for sure.
Yeah. So, from the heart, let me know, Akansha, what was the first fear or apprehension you had when you joined for the first day, taking the responsibilities?
It was a mixer, because when you come in, you are so young, you are overzealous. So on one hand, you want to make this change happen and that change happen. मैं ये कर दूँगी वो कर. So that was there. So I had multiple things in my head that वाडीलाल को ये बनाना है वो बनाना है. But at the same time, एक fear था कि not only like am I representing my father here, but also if you see it holistically, because I'm representing Vadilal, I'm representing my colleagues, my teammates, the board that we have, and if you look at it even more holistically, the consumer base that you've built for the last 100 years. So for me to not let down that consumer base was most important. And when you come in, so where the contradiction was happening is when you come in, you are like, how I was seeing the business was, अभी आगे बढ़ाना है तो we have to make younger consumers, we have to make younger customers. They have to be loyal to us because they are going to be the ones who buy forward. And at the same time, maintaining the balance, because I don't want to let go of the consumer base, the older generation who have loved Vadilal for so many years. So that was the fear, as well as the balancing that I needed to do, the opportunity that I saw. And I think that balancing was very important going forward in whatever we did for the next 3 years after I joined.
Great, great. So I don't want to be perceived as a teacher who's taking a viva. So I would request, Aditya, why don't you pose few of the questions, because you also been a second generation entrepreneur. Yeah.
Yeah, but I am not in family business.
No, I know, I know, but you are into business, right?
Yeah.
So,
general thing, let's say, so how do you, think about the next 10 years of your business, keeping in lines the legacy? I mean, it's an open question to both of you, because, legacy is a big legacy, right? So how do you, plan to take care of that and yet, take it to the next level? Because this is what this talk is all about.
Super. Next 10 years. I feel next 10 years are going to be fabulous for India. I mean, I see it as an opportunity for every Indian sitting here. I mean, these are the 10 years for us, boss. If we can do it, it's not just for Gulab or say for Vadilal, but it's for everybody, every entrepreneur sitting here or anybody who's listening. We have crazy opportunities coming up in front of us. I mean, we are one of the smartest population across the globe today. For sure, we are a bit late to many new technologies like AI and a lot of other things also, but we are catching up at quite a fast speed. And our biggest strength is keeping the cost down, boss. I mean, here, if we talk about any business in Gujarat, I mean, 10% will be the family members. So you're surely, cutting the cost there for the people. Your skill or the CEOs or the managers, half of them will be a family member. So for sure, that is the scene in my company. But we have that strength. So I feel next 10 years are going to be wonderful. But yeah, you can't, have that product mix or the marketing mix of 2010 and 15s coming in 2025. So, you have to have the new ways of, looking at the market. The consumer is changing. Tight clothes are not in, it's the loose clothes now. So, it's the times are changing. You have to catch up with the time, and you have to be very quick. You have to be spontaneous, is what I feel today.
I think, how I see, sorry, I'm a branding person, thoda Vadilal. He's talking very holistically about the country, I'm talking about Vadilal. But how I see it is, अगर 5 साल पहले मुझे ये क्वेश्चन पूछा होता तो I would answer कि country में number 1 brand बनना है and everyone should love my product, we give best quality, we give best taste. But I think how I answer it now, realizing in the last 3 years, and he said it perfectly to him, I think, when he mentioned that it's a people's business. So your vision, when you think about your vision for your brand, it should associate with how the consumers or your market feels about the brand. So when we internally look at our vision and we talk about our vision with our teammates, the first thing that we say is we say this, with every scoop, with every smile, we want every Indian ka dil bole wah 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 with every bite. Sorry, I messed it up a little, but that's what we believe in, because we believe in gone is a time when you're selling a product as a product. Now we've come to a time where you're selling experiences. I say I always package emotions. So when I talk about the brand vision, I want to make sure that my ice cream caters to every emotion that an Indian experiences and wants to experience. So I think that's how I see Vadilal for the next 5 years.
Yeah, so we are trying to decode a lot of secrets from you, right? Okay. Yeah, please. Yeah.
So, how do you deal with failure? Because there is a lot of expectation from both of you in your own families as well as, in your businesses. So how do you deal with that? Because there's a lot of pressure, right? So that is the most important thing, how do you deal with that determines your success. So I would like both of you to share a little bit about that.
Go ahead.
No, you
I
start.
just
Okay. Again, failures. See, I think being an entrepreneur and being in a family business, failures are surely going to be a part of it. And I always say, don't be afraid of failures. હું તો એમ બધાને કહેતો હોઉં છું કે એટલી વખત ફેલ થઈ જાઓ ને કે લોકો તમને ફેલરની સામે નેક્સ્ટ ટાઈમ કહે જ નહીં કે તું પાછો ફેલ થયો, એટલે તમારો ફેલ થવાનો ડર નીકળી જાય. So that's what I believe in. Be so humble about failures and learn from all the failures. Because boss, if somebody comes and tell me ને કે ભાઈ રાતોરાત આ બિઝનેસ ચાલુ કર્યો ને 2 વર્ષમાં થઈ ગયું એટલું 100 કરોડ or whatever, boss, it's not possible. Dig deep. Trust me, he'll be trying so hard since last 15 years on the idea around it or something around it. So failures are surely going to be part of it. Somebody might not be owning it up, but it is impossible to grow without failing, because there are no fixed fundamentals or rules to succeed. Like કોઈ આજે મને કહી દે કે આ કરશો તો આ થશે, તો એવું તો છે જ નહીં, right? So you have to fail and you have to try. So I am a hardcore trier and giving out 100% to what we do. Being a sports person, it teaches you that, and that's what I feel should be there. But failing at different level hits you at different way, and એનાથી બહાર આવવું બી it is very difficult. But that's the entire strength lies in where is the pressure for all the big entrepreneurs, for all the big businesses, and the bigger it gets, bigger the tension there is. But that's what we have to learn, being sitting here. So yeah.
I think that's a benefit of being in the next, like from the next generation. I think we in the next generation, if I compare myself to the olders, we are a little more risk taking in general with the kind of decisions that we make, and we are likely to make a decision that may or may not work well for us. But that being said, I'm afraid of failures, of course. Like I think I feel I'm quite emotional about them too. So although I would say I'm afraid of failures, but that does not make me risk averse. I would still be willing to take the risks, because I feel that is the only way that a change can come. So if we are here, because things have been great for the last multiple years in our family businesses, and they've been doing great following the processes that they've been doing that. So for us to come in and do something new, the only way we can do that is if we take risks. So yeah, but डर लगता है, बहुत लगता है, जब फेल होते हैं तब अफेक्ट भी बहुत होता है.
So you should be thankful to us that you are revealing a lot of secrets to your dad also here. Yeah,
no,
good.
He knows. I think I'm not going to.
Okay, it leads to me to the next question. Is that both of you, and since you might have not told to your parents for many times, what is a very important wisdom you got from your earlier generation, which you still feel that this is an asset and I have to take it further?
I think one thing, I'll go.
Yeah, please.
The one most prominent thing that I feel stays by me, and I think coming from a family business also, I feel it's most important. And he has been in a family business. In fact, this Vadilal was founded in 1907. So it's been a family business since then. Multiple generation. I mean, we still argue. We don't know if I am the third generation or the fourth generation. We don't know. So the one thing that has stuck by me, he says, "Saune laine agar vadhvanu," and that does not mean only only in the family or because you have all the elders around you also, but it also means as your colleagues, your teammates. You know, the satisfaction I feel I get, and I think one or two of my teammates are sitting here with me, the satisfaction that I get when I go home and I feel that I've cracked a solution because we have worked together towards something, is so much better than how I feel if, you know, I was sitting alone and figuring it out by myself. So what he said has stood true by me, like in multiple phases of my life and with different people. So I think that is one thing that definitely stays.
I think what I've learned from my dad and the first generation business, I mean all the uncles that I have, I think what they've taught me is no work is small. Today, you know, professionalism और वो सब तो हम बातें करते. They are the one man show. I do marketing, I do sales, I do purchase, I do depot, I do accounting, everything. So they are like, you know, be so skillful कि तेको किसी की ज़रूरत ना पड़े. So that is the one thing I learned. And hard work. I think my father today would surely be putting in 2 hours more than what I am putting in today. So hard work is something that I am sure our generation will never cope up. I think that this could be a universal answer for everybody. I mean, first generation can surely put in more hours. Cumulative महीने का count करेंगे उनके ही घंटे ज़्यादा होंगे. So yeah, hard work and you should be prepared to do everything. So no work is small, no work is big. You need to be there at every instances of the business, and that's what something, I mean, my dad has always taught me. And again, the same thing कि Gujarati family से तो, you know, our team is most important. So make sure that everybody is with you. Give them ample of chances to grow with you until you take any decision. So that is what again I've been also taught. So yeah.
Great. So you know, I being a branding person, I observe a lot of your social media handles, and I found that you do a lot of efforts in making a personal brand, which is not bad. But tell me, how does it add to your brand for the benefit of the audience and the new entrepreneurs? Because you've done very conscious efforts, right? And that is visible. So tell the benefit of it and how do you think about it here?
In putting it in very simple words, today everything is based, your reach is based on the number of followers you have, right? Let's say example, Gulab Oil says 10,000 followers, Goodness 5,000, True Story 5,000, वैसे cumulative 25,000 followers. मेरे 5,000 followers, तो 5,000 जो भी मैं दिखा रहा हूँ वो ज़्यादा ही है. So, you know, just putting it out in numbers, if I am a brand myself and I can grow to 50,000, I don't need the brand pages to grow. I just have to grow myself, and then whatever I do is a brand, is a product in itself, right? So that is in a very simple way. But again, the other way around, how I see it, brand has a different story to tell, and when it comes from me, there is a different story to the thing. If someone will ask me, Gulab will say, our director went to AMA, and when I say, come here, and my perspective will surely be different, where it can be something else, where something to give back to the society, or maybe some learning, meeting her, meeting a lot of people here, meeting you, sir. So that could be my learning and my story after going back. So there are two different perspectives, the brand and the personal branding. So I feel personal branding today is very important, and if you see lately, all the CEOs and have to be out there in the market. So I think this is something that one must try to do. I mean, good, bad, ugly is the second thing, but karna chahiye, and I feel there is a direct relevance in brand building.
Oh, great. And the next question also relevant to this. You know, many a times your old generation is not accepting certain things technologically. For example, I've seen the old generation is not accepting social media, whereas the new generation is all into social media. So how do you handle such a conflict? There may be a lot of such subjects. So how do you handle, what is your formula of handling such conflicts in the organization?
I wish there was a formula. But I think future is of omni-channel. 2015 से 22-23 तक सब डिजिटल चल गया. Now all the digital companies are coming back to the general trade and the stores, brick and mortar में सब आ रहे हैं. So omni channel, you have to be present everywhere. So I'm sure I can't leave my older generation, and I'm pretty sure they can't leave me too. So we have to find a very nice mix between both and find a way to work in between. Because अगर health card की बात करें या Blinkit की बात करें या कुछ भी ले लो, so everybody has their own stores now, right? Because they are saturated online now. So they want this GT crowd, which is again, अगर हमारी industry में ले लो तो which is even caters to 80% of the market today, which might go down to 65-68% in 2030. So still the brick and mortar or the dukaan या the kiranas is a very big market for us. So I feel दोनों का साथ में लेके चलना ही important है. And the same thing, the old generation and the new generation, again, I mean, we guys have energy, we guys have the speed, they guys have the stability, and they guys have the core strength to, you know, keep us in control and you know, just say bhai tham ja, 2 दिन में कुछ नहीं हो जाने वाला, just go slow. So the mix is the perfect way to go about it, I think.
No, exactly, because you know the earlier generation might be a little conservative, and for them the communication cost might be lower. And the moment the new generation comes, the budgets have to be very big. So you need to convince the older generation, you know, whatever I'm doing is perfect.
Interesting thing about that, sir, like you said, budgets will be bigger. Surprisingly for us, you know, when I came in, I was like, पहले तो issue was because I felt कि थोड़े ideas थे, they weren't getting accepted. And दो चीज़ थी, persistence और patience. होगा, time से होगा, they will be accepted, it will take time. But with budgets, what I've realized is, after a year or two I realized, it's not about reinventing the wheel.
No.
It's about taking what you have and doing it a little differently so that the brand still stands where it is, because it is huge and it's much bigger than you or I, like it's much bigger than anyone working for it. So instead of reinventing what, like especially if you talk about marketing, we did not increase our budgets or anything. We just started looking at how to more efficiently utilize it, because the world is changing. So we also need to change. So I think that helped us a lot.
Was it easy to convince them?
No, the persistence and patience.
Yeah, that was there.
It takes time, sir. So, but I think if you believe in something and you put in the effort to convince them over time, you show my seniors and especially my father, he's very data driven. Like I've seen sales data for them is, and I'm sure it's same for his father and like his uncles also. So the older generation is very sales driven, data driven. So if you give them the right data and why you believe in what you believe in, so things will work. It will just take some time. Yeah.
So you know, Dishit, being young, you might be having a lot of personal commitments and you want to go somewhere out, not into business. So how do you manage all this here in your life? Because this is not the age where you have to enter totally into business. You should, you know, be there playing with your friends. So कई बार then maybe compromises which you might be doing. So how do you take it?
आज की बात ले लो सर. But yeah, you get a lot of taunts from your family members that काम तो तू ही कर लेता या फिर your friends also. So that's a typical line that we hear. But I think I always tell, there are a lot of cousins around me, so I always tell them, choose your year to enter the business. The day you are in, कोई option नहीं मिलने वाला है. अभी option है तो ले लो. जब एक बार घुस गए फिर option नहीं है. So अभी जैसे there is no option, or there are many days when you don't have options, because you know this is, you do because you love sitting here, you love to do business. Then there's nothing like that, you know, you have to go and meet this friend. But if still there is inside you want to go and meet the friend, I think one must finish off the entire thing of friends and socializing and everything. बाद में तो, you know, then one will figure out a way to manage both.
The balance, yeah. What about you?
I think sir, guilt थोड़ा feel होता है कि when you are not able to tend to your, like it's important to manage multiple lives, and I think he's doing it better than I am for sure. He says he was a tennis player, so he probably has that ethic also. So managing personal, professional, health, fitness, it is important. I realize it. But when you are in a family business and you've seen it all your life, इतना पैशनेट बन जाते हैं हम कि वो स्विच ऑन स्विच ऑफ डिफिकल्ट होता है, which I think our elders have mastered much better than we have, and hopefully in the next years we do, because that switch on switch off is very important when you go back home and when you go back to office. I think that is something that, and I feel one thing as a woman also, lately the Indian society has been supporting women a lot more at work, so that has definitely helped me. But sir, I'm too young to be able to say that I have a balance. I do not have a balance, but I think one thing that has helped us, I would say, would be like, now when I make teams in a way that will this person be able to make decisions themselves, be self-reliant, be self-independent, and most of all self-motivated. So when that happens, when you get employees like that, when you make teams like that, the management is able to take off time more and focus on other things. And the employees are also, they have a better motivated lifestyle at work also. So I think that is one thing that definitely helps.
So, I feel so proud and so happy that at our age, at your age, when we were there, we didn't know what to do in life. At least you are so streamed and you know what to do and you're very clear about it. So that makes all of us so proud of it. Yeah, so let me make it a little lighter. Let me understand, or tell me some incident, very interesting incident which happened in your entrepreneurship journey. Something which comes to your mind, okay, this is a nice one.
Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah.
I also need some time to think. How many cards can we open out?
Yeah, you can, because it's
I think I can share one.
Yeah.
Same thing again when I joined, and just a few years later, when around 2018-19, we had to grow beyond Gujarat. So I thought that the right guys will have to help me in developing Rajasthan, Maharashtra and all. So I started promoting them. Funny, promotion लिख के भेजा था कि भाई promote होने का है.
Okay.
एक साल तक nobody did anything. थोड़े टाइम बाद मैं सबको पूछता रहा क्यों भाई, तो बोल रहा है देर केम टू मी आफ्टर, कहीं ना कहीं से सुनने में आया, सर आप तो हमें निकाल दोगे हमारी जगह से, बिकॉज यू आर टेलिंग अस टू ट्रेन समबडी एल्स, एंड देन वंस प्रमोशन के नाम पे यू आर लाइक यू वांट टू कट द कॉस्ट, तो आप तो हमें निकाल दोगे. So that those were such instances that I think happened with everybody of us. I don't know, I could be the only one, but that was something that just came to me right now. But that happened I think for a couple of years around me. And then उनको actual promotion मिला और थोड़ा salary hike मिला, फिर they were like हाँ यार दिशा भाई सच बोल रहे थे.
Yeah.
एक इंसिडेंट था मेरे साथ, काफ़ी लंबा चला था. Can is this okay?
Ajay,
हाँ?
fine, mic now.
Sorry. ये काफ़ी लंबा चला था मेरे साथ, क्योंकि in 2022 beginning, 2022 फेब में हमने सोचा कि कुछ नया करते हैं. अभी समर आने वाला है, समर में पूरा धमाका करना है, आइसक्रीम इंडस्ट्री है. तो वी स्टार्टेड वर्किंग विद द आइडिया कि म्यूज़िक basically attaches to everyone, like it transcends beyond age, culture, generation, like gender. तो हमने सोचा सॉन्ग बनाते एक. तो none of us know anything about music, but we were like let's go make a song. So we got कबीर सवेरा करके गहराइयाँ उन्होंने बनाया है, टाइटल ट्रैक और डूबे वगैरह. तो we got them on board and we were like let's make a song. But we didn't want it to sound like a jingle, because nowadays people don't like listening to, if you continuously listen to like Vadilal, no one will like listening to it. We need a song that catches on to people, right? So and we started working on this. Summer पूरा चला गया, हमारा song नहीं बना. And my dad was like, इस summer किया क्या तूने? And then July आया and I was like, sir, Neeraj sir, summer is gone. A song is not done yet. What to do now? Now should we just consider this as sunk cost? Because I had invested about 40% of the budget that I had thought of. I was like, now is the time. If we want to get out of this, get out of this. Otherwise, get more money involved. I will not answer to that. You answer. And he was like, give yourself some time. And 1 week later, he sat with me again. He was like, we are not quitting. So that was one thing that, I think still stands by me. Like, no matter what happens, do not quit. Like, if you believed in something, it was because it was good enough. And I'll tell you, 10 months later, but we still had a song. And I don't know if you guys have heard, but Dil Bole Wah Wah Wah. वो हमने 10 महीने के बाद एक 90 second का song किया. So that was a 10-month long process, and I think that was the most memorable journey I've had at 𝒂𝒐. Like, too many ups and downs when you are like, I'm not liking anything, and because you don't know how to do it. You have to rely on someone else. So I think that was...
Yeah, that reminds me of a
I
old...
would add on that.
Yeah,
Same thing happened with me. So we made a jingle, 𝒂𝒑𝒊𝒂𝒏. So I think Gulab name, I mean, word comes at 42nd second. मैं पापा को फॉर्म में सुना रहा हूँ. पापा ने तो पेशेंस ही लूज कर दिया. भाई गाना सुना रहा है, ब्रांड जिंगल सुना रहा है. So I was like, wait, I'll send you the other cut. अपने 20 सेकंड वाला ही सुनते हैं. चालू ही गुलाब से किया था.
हमने भी सेम ही किया. So original track कहीं पे भी 𝒂𝒂𝒊 नहीं था. I made him listen to it. He's like, 𝒂𝒂𝒊 कहाँ है? कर देंगे.
It's like...
the difference between the older generation.
It's like on the lighter side, logo बड़ा क्यों नहीं है?
लोगो बड़ा क्यों नहीं है?
So that is the approach which you have. Aditya, you have a question? Yeah, if you can.
Yeah. So, in my experience, what I have realized is that in order to get to the point where you are doing things, which you are passionate about or which you like, you have to go through a lot of things, in between, which are basically not the things which you would have liked to do.
Yeah.
But then you have to do those things in order to reach to the point where you are doing the things which you want. So what are those, things that you guys have to have had to go through in order to reach that point? Because that will give an idea to our audience also that it's not easy, to be even in a family business or any business for that fact.
I always say there is a lot of talent here in Gujarat for sure, and all the second generation guys like us has the equal opportunity. But सब लोग अच्छा नहीं कर सकते इसीलिए क्योंकि talent is one thing and reality is the other thing, right? There are likes and there are dislikes, but you have to adapt more to the dislikes, and the person who can do that better is going to go the longer way. Because business is not something that you can say, यार मेरे को जो अच्छा लगता है मैं वो करूँगा. No, you have to be a people pleaser at times, and you have to be the person नहीं यही होगा. So that is a very, you have to learn that situation by being in such situations and making the mistakes. That's what I've learned, and I think that is why there is no good or bad idea. There is always the good or bad. The execution is good or bad. So that's what I always say. कि कहाँ से काम निकालना वही सीखना पड़ता है, and that's what is the biggest challenge that we have today and we will always have. And any member, it's a family business, और बाद में जाके तुम CEO हो तो there is a board members and you have to you have your own group and everything. So this is pervasive. It's going to be always. It's going to be at every level also.
I completely agree with you, because that is one thing that I've been taught by my elders, that there'll be multiple times that you will have to do things that you don't love. So rather make them things that you love. So I think the one thing that I'm happy about in myself and why I love doing what I do is no matter what task you give me or what department you put me in or what my job role is for the day, I will end up loving it. That is what I tell myself going in. So you immediately adapt yourself to it. And एक एग्जाम्पल दे सकती हूँ इसके बारे में कि कोविड आया. कोविड किसी को पसंद नहीं आया, बट सबको निकलना तो पड़ा, राइट? तो हमने क्या, पहले एक हफ्ता तो हम खुद डर गए कि चल क्या रहा है, सब बंद हो गया, बॉर्डर्स बंद हो गए, हम आइसक्रीम दे नहीं पा रहे तो किसी को आइसक्रीम खाना भी नहीं था. तो हम डर गए कि अब बिज़नेस चलेगा कि नहीं. और उसके साथ भी like we have 4,000 employees attached with us. What were they going through? We had to answer to them also. सो एक दो हफ्ते वो डील किया, बाद में हमने सोचा कि भाई निकल जाएंगे फिर हम क्या करेंगे. सो वी स्टार्टेड लविंग द पीरियड ऑफ द लॉकडाउन, and that gave us the opportunity to really work on our internal processes कि सेल्स को बेटर कैसे ट्रैक कर सकते हैं. अगर ये एक हमारा आइसक्रीम सैंडविच है तो उसको फ्रीज़र में जाता है, वहाँ तक मुझे उसको ट्रैक करना है, तो उसको कैसे ट्रैक कर सकते हैं. हाउ आर वी प्लेस्ड इन आवर कंज्यूमर्स माइंड सेट्स. इफ़ वी आर नॉट इन द लीग एनी मोर, हाउ डू वी मेक आवर सेल्स बेटर. So these are the things that we started working on during the COVID process, and that's why I say that कोई भी चीज़ में जाते हो तो of course पहले डर लगता है क्योंकि आप कुछ नया कर रहे हो, आपको पता नहीं है कैसे करना है, बट आप वो माइंडसेट से जाओ कि एक पॉजिटिव आगे जाके कुछ अच्छा ही होने वाला है, and I'm going to love this. Then like if you see the light at the end of the tunnel, that's the basic thing, then it'll be great. Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
Before we come to the audience question, I have one question to go. What is the most important tip or few tips which you will give to the next gen entrepreneurs to maintain a legacy brand?
Okay.
I hope I'm not being very tough, right?
So I hope we have been fair.
Yeah.
I think there are no tips. I think learn from the first generation. Don't try to eliminate what they did. Those are the roots. You can't remove the roots. So first, learn what they've done, respect it, and start building above it. Start adding values. Start adding more verticals. Because the base and the foundation is rock solid. आप उसको हिलाने जाओगे तो सब हिल जाएगा, कुछ हो ही नहीं पाएगा. So respect what they have done and keep adding newer things in the portfolio. Try to sell the same product in a new way. आज के ज़माने के तरह से हमें बेचने की ट्राई करनी चाहिए. Branding, marketing is the way ahead. करना ही पड़ेगा. It's not an option anymore. And smallest of the brands across India or across the world have started getting a feeling of it. Because पहले बहुत कम brands करती थी. Now everybody has a social media page and everything. So yeah, and be quick. We have to adapt very quickly because if we think that अगर ये particular product में हम अकेले ही है, तो trust me, consider yourself 101. जैसे ही अंदर घुसोगे पता चलेगा 100 तो थे ही, हमने रिसर्च पे गलती कर दी. So don't. There is nothing like monopoly. So there is a cutthroat competition everywhere. Work on the costs and work on efficient team is what I always believe in.
I think there's two ways about the question. एक तो पर्सनल है और एक कैसे आप एक्चुअली बिजनेस में लेगेसी बनाते हो. तो बिजनेस वाला जो पार्ट है, मैं एक चीज़ बोलूँगी कि हम तो 3 चीज़ फॉलो करते हैं कि अवेलेबल करो प्रोडक्ट को, सही प्रोडक्ट को अवेलेबल करो सही मार्केट के लिए, उसको विजिबल बनाओ. 360 डिग्री मार्केटिंग इज़ रिक्वायर्ड नाउ. एंड सस्टेन करो. सस्टेन के लिए क्या इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आपके कंज्यूमर्स को सुनो. बिकॉज gone is, like I said, gone is the time where you give out a product and your customers buy it. Now customers want to read the back of the product. Customers want to converse with the brand, even if it's a comment on Twitter or a dance through a reel or interaction on Instagram or like a poll or whatever. Consumers want to be associated with the brand. They are, like, if you talk about loyalty, I would say they are more brand loyal than product loyal now. So if they feel that a brand attaches to them, then the product is automatically sold. So I feel availability, visibility, sustainability, 3 major things in terms of keeping your business like on the, on that path. And as an entrepreneur, like be it a family business or be it something that you're starting off on your own, I think one thing that I've been taught from a very young age is like, I can, I will. And that can translate into like dream, believe and achieve. So if you have enough faith in yourself, then I like that fear, the minute that fear gets in of either dreaming, believing in yourself or trying to achieve what you believe in, that fear will eat you up. So that is one thing that I feel should definitely stay by.
So these are the
youngsters.
treasures, you can say,
Yeah.
to the young generation to have these tips, right? So we go to the audience. Any questions from the audience? Yeah, please.
Any of your family suggested to start business on your own?
Mike.
Can answer this first. Can we have him also answer this? Yeah.
Yeah, so in my case, so my father has a machinery manufacturing business, and it's a German joint venture, right? And I was always told by my father that you have to do things on your own, because whether you come here or you don't come here, it's not going to make that much of a difference. So then I took it like that, because that frees me up, right? It just makes me free to do whatever that I want to do. And that is there, right? It's not going away, right? So I took up that path. I gained some experience before I went in that direction. About 3-4 years I worked, in a company. And then, I started a business. Now I am in the stage where I am going to start a couple of more businesses. So if you are, in your family business, then also it's great. If you are not in your family business, then also it's great. It's all about what you make out of it, right? And with a family business, the best thing is you already have a base. Say if a company is 1,000 crores, right? To build a 1,000 crore company, it takes a lifetime, right? So to take it to 10,000 crore is easier rather than building a 10,000 crore company from scratch. But on the other hand, when you are not, having the burden of legacy, then you are free to do whatever that you want. So both the ways are right, as per me.
Great, yeah. Ajay bhai, Mike.
Question to both of you. When you started, you had already established brand. Then when you joined, what was your vision, or what were the challenges that you took up and carried it forward, the legacy of the brand that you already had, got from your parents?
Which I think we discussed, but you can elaborate a little bit on this. He's asking what were the challenges you had faced when you had started?
So I was a COVID graduate, sir, and मैं आई तब तो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज था कि इस फेज में बाहर कैसे निकलना है, फिर आगे का जो सोचेंगे. But so of course COVID was the first and biggest, and I would still say scariest challenge that I faced to date. But apart from that, I think we as a business, we were realizing that the brand is associating a little less with the youngster these days, which was true for us in 2018. The sales were there, but we were losing that brand loyalty. So being the next generation and having to associate with audiences my same age was my goal and my challenge. So that is how, that was the first thing that I had to come in, and I still am working towards that. It's a processor. So, yeah.
Great. Yeah, you can.
I think for me was, so we were into a lot of commodity products. Oil is a commodity. So the biggest challenge for me always, and even today, is to increase the value-added products in our basket. To have more of value-added products, like maybe anything like instant mix in food, or say for example, what I launched was cold-pressed oils, so olive oil or blended oils, or anything that has some value to it, not just buy the product, pack it and sell it. So that was one of the challenges that I had, and I think we guys are still working on it.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, please. Mike.
Hi. Actually, I'm also like entrepreneur thing only on my basis. Like I'm doing a job right now, but I'm having a family business also in chemicals. So right now, like you said, you were been working with Nestle, Hester Pharma. I just was scrolling down your LinkedIn. So I'm on your same path. But I just want to ask you the question like, હું જ્યારે મારા ડેડ જોડે ડીલ કરું ને તો એમનું કંઈક લેવલ જ અલગ હોય એટલે એમને વધારે સારું રહેશે. આપણે ઓનલાઈન કરીએ તો સ્કેમ થાય, તો એ એક વસ્તુ છે. અને જે એજ ડિફરન્સ છે ગેપની, એ કેવી રીતના કરવાનું? એટલે ઘણી ઘડી આપણે મોમને જઈને ના કહી શકીએ મમ્મી પપ્પા આવું કરે છે, કે શું કરવાનું. એટલે અત્યારના જનરેશનમાં અમારે એ થાય છે કે પપ્પા કંઈક બોલે, મમ્મી કંઈક બોલે, ને પછી આપણે કંઈક અલગ કરતા હોય, અને એમાં આપણને ફેલ્યોર મળે ને તો પછી આપણે ડિપ્રેસ થઈ જાય, અને પછી આપણે જોબ ચાલુ કરી દઈએ, અને જોબ પર પણ પાછું એ જ કરતા હોઈએ પાછા. એટલે એ સાયકલ ફર કરે. એટલે એના માટે આપણે શું કરી શકીએ?
તમે મને આ ફોરમ પછી મળો. મારા મમ્મી અને મારા પપ્પા બે અહીંયા બેઠા છે.
પહેલા જે પણ કહે ને એમાં હા પાડવાની, પછી ધીમે ધીમે તમારે બતાવવાનું કે આમ કરીએ તો આ ફાયદો છે, આમ કરીએ તો આ ફાયદો છે.
મેં કીધું કે
અને પછી એ લોકો કન્વિન્સ થઈ જશે.
હા, એટલે પેશન્સ બહુ જ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે. કારણ કે આઈ થિંક અમે ત્રણેય ફેસ કરેલું છે. કારણ કે આયા હોય ત્યારે તમે યુ આર ફ્રોમ અ ડિફરન્ટ જનરેશન, સો યુ હેવ સીન ટેકનોલોજી એન્ડ યુ સીન પીપલ, you've seen the outside world in a different way, whereas they've been in the process for a much longer time, and because they've been in the process, they know the processes more, but you know the outside world a little more differently than they do, the new world that is. So એ ટાઈમ વાળી વસ્તુ છે. એકદમ શાંતિથી વગર ઠંડુ રાખીને, it will take time, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible.
I think as she rightly said, patience for sure જરૂરી જ છે. But what I did was, I think એક ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ તો વેક્યુમ હશે જ બિઝનેસમાં, એ શોધી લે. અને એમાં એસ્પિરેશન બી હશે તારા પપ્પાને, એ બી શોધી લે. એના ઉપર કામ કરીશ ને પાક્કું એન્ટ્રી વહેલી મળશે. એક ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ તો ખાલી હશે જ, કારણ કે બધા ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ તો તું સેલ્સ, માર્કેટિંગ, HR, કેટલું બધું છે, ફિનાન્સ, ક્યાંક તો ખાલી મળશે ને કંઈક તો. સ્ટાર્ટ વર્કિંગ ધેર. you'll get the entry sooner, કારણ કે that's where you have to add value to the business. જે સારું થઈ રહ્યું છે એમાં તો આપણે શું હજી સારું કરીશું?
અને આઈ ફીલ તરત જઈને ચેન્જ કરવાનો ટ્રાય કરીને આપણને કોઈ એડવાન્ટેજ નથી મળતો. પહેલાં જઈને સમજો કે આજુબાજુ શું ચાલે છે. આટલા વર્ષોથી કંપની ચાલે છે, સારી ચાલે છે, લોકો વ્યવસ્થિત કામ કરી રહ્યા છે. આપણે ચેન્જ લાવશે ધીરે ધીરે લાવી શકીએ છીએ, અને વન્સ દેટ બિલીવિંગ કમ્સ then it can be faster. So just I think હું તો પહેલાં જતી હતી તો મેં 5-6 મહિના તો નીરજ સરની બાજુમાં જઈને હું બેઠી છું ખુરશી ઉપર, કંઈ જ નથી કર્યું, જઈને બેસતી હતી.
4 વર્ષ નીકળી ગયા તેવા, આજે ખરાબ લાગે છે મને.
એટલે જઈને ખાલી બેસ, અને પછી કહેશે કે યાર શું લાઈક એક પ્રશ્ન આવશે, પછી યુ સ્ટાર્ટ મેકિંગ દેટ એફર્ટ, કે નાની નાની વસ્તુઓથી ચાલુ કરીને.
કારણ કે તમને જે બહારથી દેખાતું હોય બિઝનેસ, એ તમારી બહારનો, એ તમારો બહારનો વ્યૂ છે. તમે જ્યાં સુધી બિઝનેસની અંદર નહીં જાઓ ત્યાં સુધી તમારા પપ્પાને કઈ રીતે કોન્ફિડન્સ આવશે કે ભાઈ ના આને ખબર છે કે શું બોલી રહ્યો છે, રાઈટ? અને ચેન્જીસ તો કેવા છે કે જ્યારે કોઈ એવી ક્રુશિયલ મોમેન્ટ આવે, રાઈટ? હવે આપણે ડિજિટલ પેમેન્ટની વાત કરીએ, કોઈ સપ્લાયરને તમારે પે કરવાનું છે અને સામાન નથી આવ્યો, બરાબર છે? એ ઇન્સ્ટન્સમાં તમે બતાવી શકો કે ભાઈ જો આ કરવાથી આ ફાયદો થયો, એને તરત મળી ગયા અને આ કામ જલ્દી થઈ ગયું, તો પછી ઓટોમેટિકલી માનવા લાગશે.
આઈ થિંક એક વસ્તુ તો મારા પપ્પા હજુ મને કહે છે, it pays a pinch day, કે હજુ મને હર્ટ થાય કે ભણી તો લીધું, ગણીને બતાવો. એટલે આઈ થિંક સેમ વસ્તુ.
લખેલું બોલે આપણે જે પણ કરો લખીને કરો, ઓનલાઈન ના લખો, વોટ્સએપ પર તું લખીને મને મારી કેબિનમાં આપી દે.
એટલે જ્યારે તમે પ્રૂવ કરશો ત્યારે ત્યારે ટ્રસ્ટ આવશે, ત્યાં સુધી ટ્રસ્ટ નહીં.
તમારે ટાઈમ આપવો પડશે. You have to join it. Then things will happen.
We really appreciate the question which came from bottom of your heart.
Basically, I have been associated with
Yeah, I understand. So I call it a seasoned question.
Yeah, actually, I am a marketing guy. So I have been to his company also. So I have seen the establishment of my company and I am comparing with them.
Great.
So I just got the answer.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah. One more question.
Just to add to what answer you've given, as I am like, I think how would I do that? But anyway, I tell that I am 25, and even if you ask every many years, I will say 25. That's not so many things. My question is, come to the point. મારા દાદાના પરદાદાના દાદાના પરદાદા બઈ ખાતામાં લખતા હતા. એટલે પણ હવે એ કેવી રીતે? That's a question just arises in my mind. So my question to young fellows, how to find out? Any clue with respect to the Sanjay sir? You add on this question answer, please.
I think the same question which I think the gentleman asked. The challenges of you are asking me or asking the team is by Khatas how to convert it into new technology, right? Yeah. So that's the question I think which he also had been there, right? And we have sufficiently addressed that question, right? But thank you for asking a question like that. Yeah.
મેડમ આપ વાડીલાલ ગ્રુપમાં ડાયરેક્ટર છો તો તમારા શેર પ્રાઇસ કઈ રીતે તમે મેનેજ કરો છો?
No, that is the question which I started with. No such questions, which is entrepreneurship. Like इस तरह का question होगा. Will you be able to?
Sir, अब public company છે એટલે there is no question of that sort. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. Last question there, please.
Firstly, thank you for sharing your valuable insights. My question is that અત્યારની જનરેશન છે તમને ખબર છે તમારા કોમ્પિટિટર્સ કેટલા બધા છે, ફોર્ચ્યુન છે, એવોર્ડ છે, મેની મોર. સો તમે લોકો કઈ રીતે આ કોમ્પિટિટર્સને ફેસ કરો છો? બીકોઝ ઓલ્ડર જનરેશન્સ વર લાઈક ડોન્ટ બી વિલિંગ ટુ ચેન્જ એવરીથિંગ, ફાસ્ટ ચેન્જ ના થાવ, જેમ કોમ્પિટિટર્સ કરે એમ ના કરો. સો ફોલો યોર ઓન ઇન્સ્ટિંક્ટ્સ. જો તમે કરો છો એ જ કરતા રહો, તમને પ્રોફિટ મળે છે, તમને શું પ્રોબ્લેમ છે? ડોન્ટ બી મોર ગ્રીડી. So my question is that what should we do and how you face this competition and this competitor style market?
I think, see, the brands have to stick to their essence. એ લોકોની જે કોર સ્ટ્રેન્થ હોય એને તો છોડી તો ના જ શકો, કારણ કે તમે કહો કે અમારા માત્ર બધી ફોર્ચ્યુન ગુલાબ સરાની બીગર બ્રાન્ડ મોર મેબી બધાની પોતપોતાની સ્ટ્રેન્થ છે. વી ઓલ વિલ બી સ્ટ્રાઇવિંગ ટુ સ્ટે વિથ આર સ્ટ્રેન્થ્સ અને બીજાના વીક પોઈન્ટ્સમાં વી કીપ ઓન trying to make આપણને જગ્યા મળી જાય. So it's about, I think it's about the persistence, who tries more, who can stay longer in the fight, and who can work more smartly in the longer phase of the whole fight that it is. And it's a open market. Competition રહેવાની છે અને competition છે એનો મતલબ businesses can strive. મેં as I said again, monopoly જેવું કંઈ રહ્યું જ નથી અને competition છે તો જ જાગૃત છે આપણે, તો જ ઓફિસ જવાની ઈચ્છા થાય. I think it's a good thing and I always take it as a challenge. એમાં બહુ સ્માર્ટલી કામ કરવું પડે, કારણ કે કોઈ બી કંપની બી અસ કોઈ પણ એક્સ્ટ્રાની નથી, કોઈ મેન પાવર બી કોઈ પાસે એક્સ્ટ્રા નથી, બધે ક્યાંક લાગેલા જ છે. સ્માર્ટલી પ્લે અરાઉન્ડ.
How we look at it is ice cream is the most affordable luxury, right? I think બધા એને લક્ઝરી ગણે છે કે આઈસ્ક્રીમ મળ્યો એટલે દિવસ બની ગયો, એ લક્ઝરી કહેવાય, પણ અફોર્ડેબલ છે. સો I always tell my team કે we have to be affordable but aspirational. Either our consumers should want to eat, like either people should want to eat Vadalal or they should want to be Vadalal. So I think that's how I put it. But competition, like when I came in, I always looked up to certain brands in terms of how their branding, marketing was working, and I genuinely felt we were a little behind there. But now I feel I've reached that stage of being aspirational myself, like as a brand, not myself, but as a brand. And yeah, I mean that's thankful for the competition to help me push to come up here. Yeah.
And I'd like to add something.
Yeah, please.
સો આમાં કેવું છે કે તમે શું કોપી કરો છો ને કેમ કોપી કરો છો એ મેટર કરે છે, રાઈટ? તમે તમારા કસ્ટમરને કેટલું સારી રીતે ઓળખો છો અને તમારો કસ્ટમર તમારી પાસે કેમ આવે છે એની અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડિંગ જો તમારી પાસે હોય અને પછી તમને લાગે કે ના આ કરવાથી હું મારા કસ્ટમરને વધારે સારી રીતે સર્વ કરી શકીશ, એમાં કંઈ ખોટું નથી, પણ કેમ કરો છો એ મેટર કરે છે. અને બીજી વસ્તુ, બિઝનેસમાં હો તો ગ્રીડી હોવું જ જોઈએ, નહીં તો ગ્રો કેવી રીતે કરશો? ઇટ ઇઝ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ, કારણ કે બિઝનેસનો તો હેતુ જ એ છે કે તમે એને ગ્રો કરો, રાઈટ? એમાં મને નથી લાગતું કે કંઈ ખોટું છે.
Last question, please. Yeah. We end up here, right?
My question for both. Any future plan, innovation और boost up the business.
Future plans. I think I wish that I think we are planning કે એક કિચનમાં જેટલા બી વસ્તુ યુઝ થતી હોય બધી ગુલાબમાંથી મળે. That is the future plan and I think we are working on it. Let's hope આપણે ફરી મળીએ ને એવું બધું થઈ ગયું હોય. And you can buy from shopgulab.com. That's the future plan.
Innovation or boost up the business.
See, innovation વગર આજે કોઈ બી નવી પ્રોડક્ટ માર્કેટમાં લાવી is impossible. You have to take it around થોડું તો કરવું જ પડે. અને see you have to work around AI technology and everything. તો એ બધા સાથે રહી અને નવી પ્રોડક્ટનું મિક્સ બનાવીને માર્કેટમાં અપ્રોચ કરવાનું અને સ્માર્ટલી અપ્રોચ કરવાનું તો I think it is good. So I don't believe in innovations that change the world. But there has to be smart innovation, smart changes, utility-driven changes. જેનાથી કસ્ટમરને કંઈક ફાયદો થઈ જાય. Smaller changes can do wonders. That's what I believe. And I believe in changing by with small things every time.
Although I do feel 𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒏 was a good innovation. So, kudos to that. But I think to answer to your question, currently we have 250 plus products. So expanding more there does not seem like the best idea right now. Focusing on those products, but geographical expansion is something that we will be looking at. We want to be stronger in the east of India, and yeah, so hopefully more get on with more depots, CFAs, distributors in that region, and make our sales stronger there. That is the kind of expansion that we are looking at. But innovation is good. Like currently, I would like to add, like he has Gulab goodness now. COVID પછી health નું આખું જે બહાર નીકળ્યું. Yeah, so people have become more health conscious. So we are all trying to focus on making products that will adhere to.
Great. So on behalf of Ahmedabad Management Association, I thank Vishit, Akansha, Aditya for your motivating presence and also the audience for their inspiring presence and interesting question which you have posed. And we look forward to such presence in future also, and we will keep doing such sessions and such panel discussion which will be fruitful for not only the audience, not only Vishit, Akansha and Aditya, for me also, because I take away a lot of interesting learnings today after this discussion. And I get an official opportunity to decode a lot of secrets. Right? So, yeah. So,
Like I was literally that much.
so don't make me feel so older. Okay.
I've just heard about it, but I got to be thank you so much, sir.
Same. Thank you. And I hope you filled the feedback forms as a process.
Thank you so much to the audience for
Yeah.
having us, being here to support us.